Blog Talk Radio.
Following ingredients include a look behind the scenes. Cook uncovered until hot. Add groove to taste.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl.
The accident was over a year ago. A second woman has been elected president. The 12th planet has been named in the solar system. The last wild polar bear has died. I slept through it all. I was here for my waking. He called it a beginning. He said it was good. I think he may have thought that anything I did was good.
Welcome to Transition Radio, live from Wilton Manors, Florida, with your host, Mark Angelo Cummings.
And your hostess, Jessica Lynn Cummings.
Show for trans folks by trans folks, here to let your voice be heard. Well, good evening and welcome to Transition Radio, and we are live from Cross City, Florida at the Southern Comfort Campground. We are the Gummies, your hosts and hostess of Transition Radio. We'll be bringing you week after week, maybe not so many guests anymore on the radio show, but important information in the trans community or about the trans community. We're definitely having an amazing transition from living in a concrete home to now living in a rolling house, which we named Destiny. We love this lifestyle and definitely recommend it to those who are free spirit and love nature, and a good challenge from every now and then, because we've had several of those. As I said, our radio show are going to be guestless unless we have a special broadcast with either someone that we meet during our journey or any special event.
And also, if you would like to call in and be a part of the conversation, share your opinion on any topics we share, then please feel free to call us at 646-716-6895. Now, before we resume our show, we want to thank our sponsors, thebestformstore.com. They have everything you could possibly need for your cross-dressing and transgender needs.
And Dr. Vartan Madirosian is a facial feminization surgeon in Jupiter, Florida. Please give him a call today at 561-624-0900. Again, that's 561-624-0900. Dr. Madirosian is highly qualified and very understanding of our needs.
Well, tonight we wanted to talk about the constant wars in the transgender and transsexual community. It totally blows our minds to see that a group of individuals who are actually so judged and hated find the need to hate and judge each other. We wonder sometimes if it's the hormones, maybe the stress placed upon ourselves due to how much loss we face and how much hatred we receive.
I think the hormones is a major thing.
I don't know about the hormones. Could be the hormones.
Could be the hormone or just pre-existing conditions. Anyway, then
the men in our life.
Yeah, vice versa. Then we have those that go stealth, and down those of us who are out and proud. There are those that claim to be real women, and I'm making the quotation marks with my finger here. I know you can't see it. And totally erase their past and who they are. And that's crazy. How can you just automatically erase who you were? I mean, there's just no way.
The memories are always going to be there, so you're always going to remember your past. And the knowledge that you ascertained while you were living that life in the past, even though you weren't feeling you were being true to yourself, you still gained knowledge that can come in very handy, especially given the fact of the hatred that we spoke of that, we face. Having that knowledge could put us in a better position, should I say, in any type of problem.
But besides that, how can you eliminate 30 years, 40 years of your life, the people that loved you, that you loved? Can you automatically force them to give up those memories and to just totally say, I never existed. You know, that person to them still exists and they're still loved.
It takes time.
Lots of time, and sometimes they'll never be able to fully erase it. Because that's very unfair to the other person. They could try to be respectful. They could try to use the correct pronouns, but to completely ask a person to just erase that love of their life, no, it's crazy. Exactly. It's very selfish, and I'm finding that in the trans community, there's a big, major issue with selfishness.
Now, I could see it being a problem of somebody that you just meet that knows nothing about your past, that sees you presenting as a female, or if you're FTM, as a male, using the wrong pronouns. I could see that a means of disrespect in some way, because here you are presenting in this other gender, and here they are trying to refer to you in your birth gender, which I feel is not exactly the best way people should. But again, you have to have a sense of humor about yourself, and you also have to have some kind of give and take. You know, people are going to make mistakes. I mean, not all of us are going to look like supermodels or like studs out of a freaking muscle magazine. You know, somebody may determine who we were in the past.
And it's beyond looks. I mean, to this day, my mother still very much so slips out and refers to me in female pronouns, and that's okay. I mean, she's my mother. She gave birth to me. She has the right. She has said to me time and time again, I gave birth to a daughter. So it's very troubling to some individuals to accept what we're doing. We're totally just defying the laws of nature.
Yep.
You know, and it's something that in our little heads we think it's okay, but let's step out of our little heads and look at the little heads of everyone else and how they think of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, not everyone's going to see you the way you want to be seen. So what? Learn to live life without all these battles and all this anger and wars that you're constantly putting on people. Be happy.
Yep. And exactly. And then, to top it off, there is the color wars, where one group claims to feel that they are more of a target and suffer more than any other in the community. What exactly do we think we are going to accomplish by creating all of these wars? Battling each other and others?
I mean, it's crazy. Just because you're born in a particular color doesn't mean that, you're going to have more hardship than anyone else. We all suffer.
Exactly.
Some more than others, even in life in general, without being transgender. There are people that suffer. We are not the in-all of all in this world, and that's the problem with the trans community. It's all about I, me.
Well, exactly, and like I always say in the trans community, there's no such thing as bigotry towards race or color or creed. Bigotry doesn't see color, race, or creed. It only sees trans. It sees a guy in a dress, or it sees a girl in jeans, whatever the case is. It totally sees trans only.
That's right. Now, we look around us and we see issues that are definitely more important, and if we could step outside of ourselves for just a moment, just a little moment, we might just be able to see that our life is not that bad. Yes, we have challenges. Boy, do we have challenges, such as the restrooms issues, and our documentation, finding jobs. But all these issues do have a solution, and we are not the only individuals that have these issues. Let's say illegal aliens, they have problems with documentation. Let's say the handicapped or the disabled, they have restroom issues. Not all restrooms might be accessible. Let's look at finding jobs. People that are gender and mind aligned or genital and mind aligned have issues finding jobs too. How many unemployed individuals are out there? I mean, we are not the only ones suffering these things, and there's definitely solutions. Take it one day at a time.
My advice for the job thing is if you have a job and you're transitioning on the job, even though you may be the best in your company, well, you've built a reputation as who you were before. Now, I transitioned on the job, and I had to, back in 2011 is when I actually came out full force and transitioned on the job. And I found that, as good as I was as a male, I had to reprove myself and work 10 times harder than I did originally to reprove myself. So, we can't just get complacent. You can't get complacent and think that, I'm the best at what I do, they're not going to get rid of me. Well, now you have to up your game by 10 points to keep that job.
And besides that, if you are in a job and it's not safe for you to transition, then hold off a little bit. I know it's hard. I know you all just want to go out there and be who you are, but you also have to think of the bigger picture. You've got bills to pay. You've got child support. You've got things that you've got to do. You just can't all of a sudden let the inner child, because that's what happens. I believe that a lot of trans individuals have reverted back to childhood. And they're being run by their id, which is that little thing inside of us. It's like the child. I want now, and that's it. No, we've got to remember we're adults, and we have to do things the right way. If you can't do it at the moment, you have to hold off till the moment is right. And unfortunately, I know you don't want to hear that, but that's the way it is. Once you find that, okay, it's okay for you to transition to a job and you've got all your ducks in a row, then go ahead and do that. As far as the bathroom issues, if you go in there minding your business, not creating a major rate of trans, I am trans, oh my God, they're going to know about this, and you're sending out these hormones, and it's like, scared animal type of thing. People are going to go, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah, well, it's not so much that either. It's also the fact that maybe somebody doesn't look 100% female, which a lot of us aren't going to. People are still going to call us out, but hey, as long as you have your, try to find a unisex bathroom. Or, as long as you have your documents in order, your driver's license says F, and, no matter what the name is, but as long as it says F, they can't really say it, but they can. I mean, it's a whole gray area. I mean, there's all kinds of things. And laws are meant to be bent, and the lawmakers and those that are supposed to support it are the ones that actually bend it the most. But anyway.
There was an article regarding someone in the gym back in, I think it was in California. LA's Fitness, and they actually, transgender female, had all the documents and everything else, but they still denied her the right to use the female bathroom.
Exactly.
These are things that before you transition, you have to make sure that you're well aware and that you're going to be able to deal with these challenges. Because it's not easy, but if you sit there and drown in a cup of water, then I'm sorry, you have no business transitioning, because it's not for the weak-minded. It's not. It's a hard thing, and you have to be able to be strong and deal with it.
And just to reiterate, Mark's not saying that, not to transition. I mean, you got to transition if it feels right to you, but you also got to have tough skin to be able to deal with all the negativity and the influx of negativity that you may or may not receive. It's not all going to be positive. You read all day and see YouTube all day. Everything's positive, positive, positive. Well, nobody likes to show the ugly side of what really goes on behind the curtain. And, we all receive it. All you're seeing is the glory and the glam and the glitz, and that's what you want. No, that's not how it is. It's definitely, you have to have thick skin, or people will get to you.
And I do mean what I say. If you don't have the ability to deal with challenges and issues, then you have no business transitioning, because you are going to wither away, wilt away like a flower.
Well, I mean, the reason why I say I disagree with that then is because of the fact that basically, I mean, what do? Take the chance, live my life being miserable and the same person that I used to be that I didn't like, or take the chance and say fuck it and
be miserable because you're gonna be miserable anyway, because people are
screw it and basically transition, and whatever comes my way, hey, well, I'll deal with it. It's got to be better than what I was dealing with prior.
Look how many people have committed suicide after they transitioned because
it wasn't what they expected.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to tell people here. Buyers beware.
That's
Do
what
not
I
transition. Don't transition unless you're able to deal with all the things that are going to come your way. And trust me, there are going to be many. Not just your family, not just your friends. You're going to have issues with jobs. You're going to have issues with police force. You're going to have issues with everything, and you have to be able to deal with it. If you can't deal with it and you're very, very sensitive and you wear your feelings on your sleeve, then please do not transition, because it's going to be the death of you.
Yes. So anyway, to change the tune now, let's take a look at the latest circus created by our community.
Oh.
Jared Leto's Best Supporting Actor Oscar win sparks backlash from transgender community. Oh boy, what doesn't that surprise me? The actor's award credentials came under fire from some groups who criticized his portrayal of Rayon in Dallas Buyers Club.
The actor, who was honored with the Academy Award for his portrayal as Rayon, an HIV-positive transgender woman living in Texas in the 1980s in Dallas Buyers Club, faces a backlash from the members of the transgender community. Does that ring like deja vu somewhere? It's Mrs. Mock there.
I've seen that
somewhere. Backlash. There's all these backlashes.
Anyway, outraged groups questioned why a straight male actor had been chosen for the role and why he had neglected to thank the transgender community during his acceptance speech.
Oh my God! We get about that.
Okay, well.
Oh my gosh.
Well, first of all,
yeah.
Go back to that for 1 second because I was trying to. Why would he have to thank the transgender community for anything? A, okay. B, they don't use transgender women in the roles because transgender people, period, exactly, case in point, are outraged over the freaking stupidity of the world. This is exactly why we're not in Hollywood, because none of us have the capacity to be able to
deal with anything.
But
that's exactly what teams do not transition, because these people have no ability to deal with nothing.
No coping skills, excuse me.
Yeah, none, zero.
So it's like, okay, let's fire back at everything. Well, the person that wrote the movie, the casting director and everything like that picked the people for the roles, no matter how they're portraying us, at least they're putting us out there. And even, there's good and there's bad. We got to take the good with the bad. Even bad publicity is publicity, period.
It's education all the way around. If we keep this up, they're going to just say, what, screw you, transgender people. We ain't going to have anything to do with
We're going to paint you like demons and monsters and then let you complain about that.
They're painting, and that would be a perfect painting.
That's going to be the next step.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, I'm sorry, guys, I'm transgender, and I try to love as many of you as possible, but sometimes you're so unlovable.
I do agree with the fact that they should have casted a trans woman for the role, but unfortunately we screwed up ourselves. B, I do think that, telling the story about a transgender woman living with AIDS is kind of stereotyping us in one stereotypical fashion. The trans community are, that the trans community has a high HIV/AIDS rate, which we do.
Yeah,
but
there's nothing a lie about that. There's a lot of sex workers.
But they can steer away from that aspect of it, that avenue, the sex worker, the AIDS, the HIV, the sickness.
But that's what you see.
Like Hit or Miss, the movie Hit or Miss, that was a Netflix miniseries. It was awesome. And the girl was badass, and she was trans, but it was the same girl that played Brandon Tina's boyfriend on the Brandon Tina story.
Right.
Boys Don't Cry.
So let's see. There's some interesting information regarding this. Somebody.
Josh Truitt of Feministine wrote, "I have no interest in watching a cis non-transgender man in drag play a trans woman ever again."
Okay, and that same individual, no matter what Dallas Buyers Club does as a film, the narrative around this movie, the fact that a man in drag is playing a trans woman, perpetuates the stereotype that we are men in drag. Well, let's back up here. There are, how does many of us start off? Cross-dressing, okay? And there are many in the trans community that are cross-dressers, that are drag queens, that are part of the transgender umbrella. So
drag kings.
Yeah. So please get over yourselves. People don't realize that it's like you're becoming annoying. The elitists, these people that have nothing else better to do than to bitch about everything that goes around them. You know what? Just get a life. Seriously.
Exactly. Well, many took to Twitter to share views as well as blog posts on the subject, and here are just a few of some of the tweets that went on about the whole Jared Leto thing, about this movie Dallas Buyers Club and everything like that. So basically, we have one comment or one tweet that says, "This is so good. Read RT. Don't congratulate Jared Leto's transgender mammy." Whatever the hell that means.
Okay, well, bring it down to the
But here it is.
Don't open it.
No, I'm not. But just the headline reads, "Don't applaud Jared Leto's transgender mammy, Time.com." And it says, Dallas Buyers Club has generated praise for the actor's supposedly brave portrayal of a transgender woman. Don't expect anyone to find it admirable 20 years from now.
And actually, there are a lot of people that have really said he did a great job. It's only, you've got a group in this transgender community that are miserable. I think they need to lower their dose of hormones. All they do is bitch about everything.
No, they just need to act like women and stop acting like goddamn warmonger commandos.
Yeah, they can't take out the man. I'm sorry. And I'm going to say it time and time again. And I don't care how many of you disagree and hate because, you know, I'm sick and tired of the BS time and time again. Here's another one by the name of Nikki J. Yes, Jared Leto apparently deserves the Oscar, but why wasn't a trans actor cast to play a trans role? Well, that's because trans actors are probably so difficult to work with and nobody wants you around. You know, bitch, moan.
And then Elizabeth Plank says, you mean transgender, RT at NBC News. Breaking, Jared Leto wins Best Supporting Actor role for a transvestite in Dallas Buyers Club. Well, gee, I wonder why they misinterpret everything, because we only lead them down that road. You know, you lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink type scenario applies.
Okay, you need to bring that down some better.
I
think that's pretty much it. There we go. Jared Leto,
Rolling Stones.
Yeah, Rolling Stones. Jared Leto, supporting actor, wins for Dallas Buyers Club, makes him the second actor to win an Oscar for playing a transgender role. And that was,
and the first was actually Hilary Swank from Boys Don't Cry.
You know, at least they're getting out there and portraying us, maybe not in the light that we want to be seen, but there are a lot of transgender sex workers. There are a lot of transgender individuals who do have HIV, and there are a lot of them who might not be full-time, and that's what they're portraying. Anyway.
Exactly. So, on our Shame on You segment, we have an article written by Michelle Spicer.
And by the way, we created this just to bring out all the things that we think that need to be shamed in our community individuals. There's nothing, a lot of you want to make it seem negative.
It's about, you know, shame on individuals, that shame towards the community, whether they be transgender, LGBT, whether they be whoever, anybody that shames on the transgender community as a whole, or for any reason, any particular person, anybody else, it's something that's going to be rekindled and recoiled back to them.
Because a lot of people have come and say, well, why are you bringing out something negative? Well, you can't have change unless you create awareness. And without awareness, there is an issue. We have a problem. It's a major problem.
And might I add, we have received a lot of emails and people their anonymity because they agree with everything that's being written on this blog, but, you know, they're like praising us for having the guts to stand up against the downward spiral of the community.
Exactly.
And try to make a change. So the more awareness that's being brought out there, the more we're bringing it and throwing it back in your face, the more you're going to see it, and the more that you might even sit there and think about it and say, wow, wait a minute, maybe we should try to change something here. Try a different angle.
Yeah, a different approach.
You know, so anyway. So on the Shame on You segment, the article was written by Michelle Spicer, one of our collaborative authors, and the article was called Misgendering to Learn. Have you ever been in an argument with a transgender person and they inevitably pull out the misgender card to use against you as if that will help prove their argument, right? Just because as transgender people we know how to hurt one another does not mean that we have to. One person misgenders another and they hit back with the same insult, and the argument degenerates into name-calling and the blame game.
You're not man enough. I am way more transgender than you. You are still a woman/man. Does this remind you of anything? Grade school, perhaps. I know you are, but what am I? I am rubber. You are glue. What you throw at me bounces off right back or sticks to you. The argument that is advanced in this way is not an argument at all.
You might just as well say, I have pie. Your argument is invalid. Perhaps one day the transgender community will mature enough to be able to have a positive dialogue with one another without the childish behavior. I don't like your post in this group. Who cares if the other 4,000 members don't care? I want it banned, dude/girl. It seems to lead back to the selfish, I am a victim and all things pay attention to me attitude.
Yes, the me. If I disagree with you on any points at all, you should be put to death and your name stricken from the transgender community, except for the misgendering that gets to stay. Also, please be sure to let everyone know that I suffer more than any of you, and that gives me the right to misgender or otherwise insult you in any way I deem necessary and proper.
Will you listen to yourselves? Go back and read your comments and attacks as if they were directed at you and see how it feels. You might just get enough of a taste of internet bullying that you don't ever do it again. Now, wouldn't that be a blessing? I can dream about a world where transgender people can put forth ideas and discuss them in a more mature and intelligent way.
Yeah, it's like going back to terrible twos. Everyone has one finger pointed at everyone else, but do you notice when you do that how many fingers are pointing back at you? Question. The answer is 3, just in case you're too busy flaming this article to bother to dry it out. By the way, if this blog upsets you, why do you read it?
The answer, of course, is because it makes you think, and that upsets people. Truth upsets people.
Yeah.
And as Jack Nicholson said, and if you come in, you can't handle the truth.
Exactly. And like I've said in several of my Facebook comments, the light is very bright, and some people do not want the light, and they just get very angry, and they start,
they like to point the finger,
yeah.
But they don't like to have the finger pointed at them.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
We've been attacked for creating this blog. We've been attacked for saying many things in the community, and people don't want to hear it. They just walk around with their fingers in their ears going, la, 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 la. But we have a major problem. We're dysfunctional with a capital D. A lot of narcissistic behavior needs to stop. If you want respect from the outside of the community, if you want people to take us serious and understand this, we need to start having more compassion with the outside world, forgiving ourselves a little bit more, forgiving others a little bit more, and just grow up. Get out of those terrible twos.
Stop policing the world, because I'm sure the world can police us as to a lot of things that they can't stand about us.
Yep.
How, we just many different facets of how, if that's even the correct terminology, I should have used. But, I just think that, we need to lighten up a little bit and realize that, hey, humor is something that will bring a lot more people to the table than that of bitterness.
Yeah, and there's a lot of bitter people. Talking about, look at outside. It started off as day. We're doing our show here in our RV, and we are in an amazing campground. We have a beautiful view, and it's just, we have the screen door open, and we're just amazingly seeing this. It's just, life is too short to be miserable, and we decided to do this amazing journey to be happy and to become more in tune with nature and our spiritual self. And, maybe some of you need to do that just to get rid of some of that anger. Anyway, next Thursday we have Vicky, or this Thursday coming up, we have Vicky Wagner, an amazingly funny LGBT comedian. This is definitely a show you don't want to miss, and it's going to be on Gay Life TV, aired live, and then it will be on demand on our website. Mind you, this is a limited thing. Very soon, there's not going to be any free on demand on our website, because we're going to be signing a contract with Gay Life TV and giving them exclusivity. So if you miss the show live, you're going to have to either pay to see it on Box or get a premium account with Gay Life TV. All right, so folks, we want to thank you for tuning in, and thank you for, just being great followers and listeners. I know there's a lot of you out there who may not like us, but you know what? We love you. And remember to always love yourselves too. Good night.